And 3, 2, 1, boom! And we're back to another episode of Socratic Gamers. This episode is sponsored by Zen Real Clothing Co. Pick up your tees at zenrealclothingco.com and use code SGPodcast for 20% off select items. Okay, so before we begin this movie review, I'd just like to state that Vish went to his very first hot yoga class ever. Well, yoga class ever. Yeah. What'd you think?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah. You find it difficult?
No, not in the sense of difficulty, because the basically thing was you could do what you can do, right?
Right, okay,
but
yeah.
It's just like movements and like kind of like stretches. So
yeah, it's like pretty straightforward, right? Like there's nothing like crazy.
Yeah, nothing like that. Yeah, no.
And I wholly advocate doing a hot yoga class versus like a non-heated room because like
yeah, I felt it was just more easier to stretch
into it. Yeah. And I like the heat, so that's pretty cool. Yeah. All right, so yes, hit up Sauna Yoga or your local hot yoga studio for more. Okay, so movie review. Guy Ritchie is back. His last film was
Aladdin.
And remember we didn't like that movie? I think we did a movie review.
We did.
We did, right? Yeah. So we did a movie review for Aladdin. Wasn't the greatest.
Yeah.
It kind of felt like anybody could have filmed that movie. I remember that's one of the primary takeaways for the Aladdin. It's just like, it was just so general, right? But with this one, Guy Ritchie's back. His style is like totally like if you watched Snatch, Rock and Rolla, it's a standard Guy Ritchie film. So if you go into this and you like Guy Ritchie films, you'll appreciate this one.
Yeah, right.
But if you don't really like Guy Ritchie films, or you think you might, it's kind of like Quentin Tarantino. It's like it's a very specific taste,
right?
You know?
Yeah.
I feel it's like an acquired taste.
Yeah. I mean, if you've seen enough, you will see how. So, like, I've forgotten how Guy Ritchie exactly is like.
Well, let's just preface this with you fell asleep.
Yeah.
Like how many times?
A few times.
Yeah. Okay. So like the story there for you wasn't fully there.
Well, yeah. It wasn't enough for me to keep my attention, I guess. Yeah.
No, but I mean like to give a full like take on the story about like we can't really dissect the storyline because like I'll bring up stuff and then you'll be like, oh, I don't remember that. Or you might remember, you know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because you don't know what parts you fell asleep at.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I was trying to stay up, but like it just didn't work.
So you're saying you not a fan of?
Yeah. So like again, I think it was the same thing with the other Guy Ritchie movie that you like very much, and I did not. King Arthur.
Oh yeah, totally.
So yeah. And I don't think I've seen any of his movies in theaters other than King Arthur. Okay, most of them were at home. Either maybe I was doing something and watching it.
So it's kind of like just in the background.
So but it kind of like I was awake for the whole story. But like in the movie theater scenario, plus we've got those recliner seats. It's I guess I was more prone to gonna be affected by sleep.
Yeah, totally. And it was like a late show. So like
as a late show, true. Yeah, that's true.
But it's so funny though, like it's the total opposite for me. Like with Guy Ritchie's movies, I have to keep paying attention because like everything comes into play. But it's like a bombardment of like talking.
Yeah.
You know? So like if you're going into this movie and you're like, oh, I'm gonna see like a bunch of action scenes. No, you won't see a bunch of action scenes. You'll get like some.
Yeah.
But like it's more like all of his movies are propelled forward by some sort of conversation. You know? And or a monologue, like they're talking to themselves, or like. But I really like that about his movies. You know, that's the style of movie. Like I would have to say, out of all the directors, he's probably my favorite.
Right.
Quentin Tarantino would be number 2. His movies are really good as well. But like we were saying on the drive back, that Quentin Tarantino is more eccentric in his characters. Like they're kind of weird. They always have like something weird about them, but Guy Ritchie's characters are always cool. Like there's always something cool about Guy Ritchie's characters. You know?
Well, I mean, that's just the style that the world that he's in, right?
Right.
So I think like the characters
like
for
the
worlds
gangster world,
the character worlds for Quentin Tarantino aren't like that style. Like,
they
they're
can't
not.
be
They can't be. Yeah, they can't be. Because then it's like a different.
Because they're like
movie.
mobsters. Yeah, totally. But see, so
like like I've been talking about Quentin Tarantino. Like it reminded me of Hateful Eight. I liked that movie all the way through.
Yeah, I hated that.
I liked that movie all the way through.
Yeah, I was bored.
I wasn't, because I don't know. It's just, there is a lot of talking in that one, but it's like I don't know. It had something that grabbed my attention to it.
But all right. So there is a lot of talking, yes, but they're not cool. So like, what I mean by cool is like there's no suaveness to each character. Like all of Guy Ritchie's characters are all suave. You know, there's some like element of like danger to them. You know, or like cleverness. Like they're all like because they're mobsters, right? So they're like clever. You know, but like with Hateful Eight, I kind of felt like it was just a story of people.
Yeah, I guess I like that.
Yeah, right.
I prefer more of that.
Because like you liked Crash.
Yeah.
Remember like Crash, Babylon. All
Babylon?
those. I think it's called Babylon.
Was it? Which one was that one?
The Brad Pitt one, where like you like those movies where they all
Ad Astra? You're talking about
no.
Which one?
Babylon.
From who?
I don't remember who the character is, but it's like there's a bunch of different people, and all of their stories are independent.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I got you. Yeah.
So like that's your style of movie. You like those movies where like they're all. I guess maybe it's like a character thing, like it's like a personality thing, because like you like those ones where like all of their stories are independent and they come together in a tied manner.
Yeah,
I like those too, but like I like it better when they're like mobsters. You know, like Layer Cake. What's another one? Oh, right. The Big Short. You know, like all those.
I like Big Short. Yeah,
totally. Yeah, but like I'm saying, those are more lumped in towards like the chess movie styles.
Yeah,
you know.
No, I really like Big Short. I mean, I think it depends. I don't know. It wasn't working for me. I don't know. I'd have to look back at the other ones. Like, did I really? Yeah. Like, how much did I really like them? Or
that's why it's funny when you're like, it wasn't working for me. But I'm like, but it was like all of his movies. Like you could like interchange this with another movie and be like, oh,
it could be for different reasons. It could be the recliner seats. It could be it's just like late movie. I don't know. Like these are.
Maybe
could have an impact. I have to look back at this movie again when it's out,
released.
Yeah, so that I can actually get the full story, because I didn't get the ending. Like I woke up at the ending, I'm like, what happened?
That's funny.
Like there were characters in between that I did like, but again, they're just as characters that they are. Right, and I couldn't really focus or think about the story as much since I did miss some things.
Right, and that's the thing. It's like like we were saying before that like. That like Guy Ritchie movies are like chess games, you know, because like you're moving something, but when you're moving it, it has a strategic role later on. You know, like the paperweight was a gun, but then she used that gun later on. But like they present it all innocuously, like they were they broke in to like get this girl back who was a druggie, and then he was saying like, oh, I know all of your names, I know everything about you, and then he's like, except for you, I don't know who you are. And then that guy got killed, and then they found out later like, oh, his father's like KGB or something like that. So it's like
I did feel like that though, like the times that I was awake and stuff, like I did when they went into that room and he didn't know, like I felt like these are things that'll come back.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So like finding that body in the freezer,
but it's like why, like
no, but I didn't feel like it was. I didn't feel like. I think it was like I think pretty obvious to know that this will come back.
But all right, putting it back to chess, it's sort of like you watch me move my rook, right? And you see me move my rook, but you're like, why are you moving that rook? You know what I mean? Like he puts an emphasis on those scenes.
Yeah.
But it's like, but why is that important?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, why did you not know that person's name? Why did he get killed?
Right.
You know, you can ask a lot of whys in this movie, and then he'll like tie it back together.
Yeah. No, it's all connected. I did like that aspect. It's just I don't know. It just overall did not work.
Like a good example. Remember when they came in for the meeting in the beginning? I don't know if you remember this, but like Dry Eye and the guy behind him with the scar over his eye.
Yeah.
Remember? And then they're like, "Oh, Fook
Yeah.
He's the one who did it, and they're like, okay, who's this guy? And they look at it, it's the guy with the scar on his eye, and you're like, oh shoot, he came back to play like a more important role, you know.
But that was the way to know, because we would not have remembered who he looked like.
The scar on his eye, yeah, totally. And then like when he died, like they didn't give you like an obvious answer. He like committed suicide, right? He jumped off the track, and then you're like, oh, now how are we gonna figure out how it's all connected, you know?
Right. Yeah. I didn't really get the ending.
Oh, we didn't even score it in the bebeginning. Oh, yeah, okay, let's score it first.
Well, from whatever I could tell, I don't know. 6.5.
Oh wow! I thought you were gonna say like 5.
Yeah, I was thinking. I don't know.
I'm gonna give it.
There were parts I liked, so when I was awake. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
I'm gonna give it like an 8.
Yeah. Expected.
It's, like, okay. In the order of, do you remember Snatch?
No, I don't remember. I don't remember much of his movies. I can't remember. Just the way that
so maybe you just didn't really like them.
Maybe like, no, I liked them in that aspect. Maybe just it wasn't like, those are not like my top,
but like
things. Like maybe I like them. Maybe you know.
It's sort of like okay, so like if you're like if.
But it was a long time ago that I watched it, so to remember it.
Right. Yeah. I watch these movies like on the regular.
That's what I'm saying. I think
I really like.
I know you. Yeah, like I will remember Christopher Nolan movies.
Totally. Yeah.
Like I remember.
So
those.
like it's interesting how like these each of these directors, the way I see it is like if you don't like a director, it's like okay, you just don't like that flavor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like if you're like you watch like a regular movie, you're like, oh, did you like the movie? Yeah, I liked it or I didn't like it. Right? Yeah. Like general right?
blockbuster types.
You're like, did you like the Marvel movie? Yeah, but who was the director? I don't know, right? But with these, it's like these specific directors who write and direct, they have like a specific flavor. So it's like if you didn't like that Quentin Tarantino movie, you're probably not going to like all the other Quentin Tarantino movies. You know what I'm saying? It's like you know what to expect out of these.
Yeah.
So when you're saying like I didn't like it, it's not really like for me. It's not like you didn't like the movie. It's like you just don't like that style.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
You know,
it just didn't work for me. Right. I think,
and that's why you're giving it like a 6.5 because like you don't really like it. But for me, I'm like I give it an 8 because I'm like I like that style.
Yeah, but there are movies that you could tell like we would both agree on that are really bad.
Oh, what do you mean?
No, like in general
other ones.
Sense.
Yeah,
other ones. Yeah.
But these
are these are
unknown directors.
Like the director itself is a character in that in the way it's done.
Totally.
So right. So like you expect, you know what you're gonna get from that person.
Right. Except for the Aladdin one, that was a big shocker for me. I was like, what is this?
Right. I mean, I think they used the name. People expected one thing. Like I don't think he had control.
Yeah,
of a lot of things because this is a Disney project and they don't want to give away the
right. Yeah, totally. Like that, yeah. They don't want to make it gritty or anything like that.
Yeah.
But do you remember King Arthur? Like the King Arthur was like a boy on the streets. So I was like, okay, I thought that's what Aladdin was going to be because Aladdin's literally a boy on the streets.
Yeah.
But then there was no like gangsterness in it, and you're like, so then why'd you even get Guy Ritchie? Like Guy Ritchie is known for gangster movies,
right?
You know.
Yeah. And
like Quentin Tarantino is known for outlandish movies. Christopher Nolan is known for like epic mind blow movies. You know. Yeah. But like we were saying yesterday, other people like that everybody knows, like James Cameron, Steven Spielberg, they're just like blockbuster directors. Like I wouldn't say that like I can pick out those directors' styles.
Yeah.
You know.
They're part of like the old school.
Yeah. Back when like they weren't like art pieces. You were just looking for a director that was known. Right. Like you're like, okay, you're gonna get quality every time. It's not to say that their movies are like bad. When you put like Steven Spielberg or like James Cameron, you know you're gonna get quality. That's the thing. But it's like you can't differentiate it. Like if I put that movie in front of you, like who directed that? You'd never know. But if I put like a Guy Ritchie movie in front of you, because his scenes are all the same, like he has the exact same style. Yeah. Quentin Tarantino, same thing. You know. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I mean, there are some new ones that I've been liking, but they're more
new directors.
One new director.
Okay.
Taika.
I don't know who that
Taika Waititi.
Oh yeah. But see, I can't tell what movies he made though.
But you haven't seen a lot of his stuff. He's like a recent guy coming up from New Zealand. So I saw a New Zealand movie. This is like a comedy style.
Okay, so he has a style. Because he filmed the Marvel, right? Didn't he film?
He filmed Thor Ragnarok. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, I can't really tell. Like,
so that is not. It's comedy is his thing, and he did do it his way. Like he did have his thing, but
I like Thor Ragnarok though. Yeah, that was like a good movie.
Yeah, yeah. So, but there are other things he does do of his own and of his own writing, like Jojo Rabbit. I still have to see that.
Okay.
Like he has a comedy style. To it, and he acts in his movies, but I don't think he did in. He did. He does. Yeah, he did act in Thor Ragnarok too.
Yeah, he was the
rock guy.
Yeah.
So he's like someone new that's kind of coming up. So
right. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, like coming back to this movie, I don't know. It just didn't. Again, yeah, I guess I've forgotten how. Like I've never watched his in theaters other than King Arthur, and I did not like that either. So it's like
it's interesting.
It's funny that it makes sense. Like it would continue the same way.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. It's interesting. Like if you actually look at the cast of the movie,
yeah,
that was kind of fascinating, in that like I was kind of worried about this movie because I was like, why are there so many stars?
Right.
You know, and especially like the guy from Crazy Rich Asians being in this, I was like, oh, are you just like latching on the popularity of that thing? And I was like kind of worried that it wasn't going to be a good movie. But I thought it was amazing. But what did you think of the casting?
I thought they were pretty good.
I some really of the ones that liked the Crazy Rich Asians guy. I was like, dude, you are a good actor, yo. You're a really good actor.
Yeah.
I saw his other movie. There's another movie with Anna Kendrick he did, and I was like,
I haven't seen.
It's like a love story,
right?
Thing. I was like,
yeah, I liked Colin Farrell for the little that I saw him, but
yeah, Colin Farrell's.
I always liked that guy. I don't know. He's just a funny guy.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah, I love his movies.
Yeah.
He kind of like had a hiatus, eh? He used to do like so many action movies, remember?
Yeah. He does, sometimes things happen. But like he hires, like again, it's all done in London, so he's only hiring like people. These are all London or UK.
Oh, really? Yeah.
United Kingdom.
Oh, what about the main guy?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I don't think so. I think he's the only one that's American, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Matthew McConaughey?
Yeah, that's his name,
yeah.
Well, what did you think of Charlie Hunnam? His name? Charlie Hunnam?
Yeah.
What did you think
I always liked him.
I feel like his accent in this movie was weird. It was hard for me to place.
I don't think that's his real accent.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, what are you trying to be right now? It's like very odd.
Because he's played the American accent for so long. Either he should have I don't know.
Is that his real voice?
I don't know. Actually, yeah.
I'm so confused. I was like, where are you from?
It still had actually it's not, I don't think his real voice, because it didn't really have that big of an accent.
Yeah, it was like an American trying to do, it was like a British person trying to do a British accent.
Yeah.
It was like, but you're British. It was like you're trying too hard to be something.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very
I thought that most of it was pretty good.
I liked Hugh Grant's character a lot too. He was like really, really good.
Yeah, he was in it from the beginning.
Kendall.
Oh yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, I didn't.
Amazing in that. Because like if you watch him in succession, you're like, okay, like you're like, okay, he's like this very like buttoned up. He didn't really emote in Succession. So I was like, okay, so what kind of acting style are you? And then watching his character in this, he's very like flamboyant.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, dude, you're a good actor.
Yeah, that was good. I did like his, seeing him in it.
Yeah. What do you call that? Where it's like,
and how he was involved on like that's the part that I saw where. Like we thought he was only working with Matthew McConaughey, then. No.
It's like he always does that. There's all like that's how I knew right away.
No. Yeah.
I was like, all right, this guy's gonna be evil. In every movie, that's like the person you think is on your side is not on your side.
Yeah. Right.
Like in all of his other ones too, it's like there's always like they're always gonna screw you over. So I was just waiting to see like, okay, how are you gonna? And plus, like they kind of made it obvious when he's the only one who visited the secret hideout, and then those people went to the secret hideout. It's like the only person that knows that information is that guy. But they were like, they trusted that person was like trying to like buy the business.
Right.
So it's like, well, why would you want to screw us over?
Mm-hmm.
But see, all right, so that's one of the things I like about Guy Ritchie movies is like it's very much like mobster mentality is very much business mentality.
Mm-hmm.
So as I watch this, I'm like, okay, I can learn something that I can apply in my like professional career.
Right.
You know, even though people are like, oh, like, but you know, how? So like when he first valued the company at 400 million, and then he's like, well, I can't pay 400 million. In his head, he's like, I can't pay 400 million. I don't want to pay 400 million.
Mm-hmm.
So then he orchestrates this like attempted robbery. And then in that, he's like, well, it's devalued now because they know your location. And then, like, you know what I mean?
Right,
like,
yeah.
You can devalue something. And then you're like, well, I'm going to pay you a more fair assessment.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But they do that in business all the time, right? Yeah. It's like you were saying today with the Tesla.
Yeah.
So explain that one.
So, yeah, like the recent something about 100,000 cars getting into accidents, accidentally speeding up. But the guy that reported that was a person who was a short seller because they're losing, because they're seeing the success of Tesla.
So a short seller is like somebody who bets against a company. So they'll make money if the company loses money.
Yeah. If
I'm not too sure how that works, but like, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That was a big short too, right? They bet against the economy.
But I don't really know. Like, I didn't do very well in finance, so that's why I didn't go into finance. So I can't really explain that to you. Like, I know that's a thing. I just don't know how it works.
Yeah, there are people that do that. I was watching someone that does like a lot of research, like a doc that before they do the short selling, they look at all the company's things, earnings, and like what.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything that they're doing, and then they were able to like decide, okay, this company is going to fail, so we'll bet against them.
Right, and like in this movie, he's like he valued the business.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like there's the business lesson right there. But you were saying that the other trick is that not only is he a short seller, he doesn't actually own a Tesla.
Yeah. No.
So see, there's the mob. There's the Guy Ritchie-ness in it.
Yeah.
You know, like the person that. Who's trying to earn his money back is trying to like set these traps to make the public, you know, devalue it more. Yeah. See, like you can learn business lessons in it.
Yeah.
Actually, it's funny. Like as a side note, like because of like the mobster and like the business, 50 Cent and Jay-Z were also big business influences. Because like when I listen to their songs or like listen to them explain things about like the hustle of like selling, you know, like cocaine, it's like it's the same thing. Who are your competitors? How do you control supply and demand? What are your logistics for like getting it to your customer? Well, to yourself and then your customer.
Right.
Like how much do you have to pay for the initial supply and then you have to mark it up to make a profit? You know what I mean? These are all business lessons.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And what was that other movie? Entourage. Here's another good example. How to negotiate deals. Ari Gold. Yeah. But so anyways,
yeah. I mean, it just didn't work for me. But I think if you'd like his types of movies, you will.
You see, like the benefit, like you see how people could like it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No,
it's not like those movies where it's like
it's not
wow,
like a bad.
Like that? It's not a bad movie.
It's not a bad movie.
That's the thing, right?
Yeah. It's not a bad movie. It's just was not the movie for me. That's all.
Right, totally. But whereas like we'll watch a movie and we're like, wow, that was a bad movie.
Yeah.
You know, like why did they film this movie?
Right.
But like if you like, that's why it's like flavors. It's like, do you like the taste of sweet or sour?
Yeah.
You know.
Like Quentin Tarantino isn't bad, but
no, he's not bad.
You might not like his art style.
Totally. Yeah. Like Hateful Eight. I can see why people like it. I just found that movie boring.
Yeah.
You know?
Which totally makes sense. Yeah.
Or like Django. A lot of people couldn't watch that movie because there's like so much like gore and like slavery and like the use of the N-word. Yeah. Right. So like people didn't like it, but it's like, no, it's not a bad movie though. It's just like not your flavor.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I love that movie.
Django? Yeah, I love that too. I love it, but it's like too much, so I can't handle it. It's so like dark. There's just so much like you know what I find with Quentin Tarantino movies? I know we're talking about Guy Ritchie, but like Quentin Tarantino movies feel very epic. Like every character's got a long backstory. Yeah. But I was watching his director like interviews, and like he gives each character a really thorough backstory. Like they could have their own individual movie, but he never shows it to you. He just shows that to the actor, so the actor knows what they're gonna act like in this movie.
Yeah. Right.
I feel like Guy Ritchie might do the same thing. But to Guy Ritchie's credit, he hangs out with a lot of mobsters in order to find out like how to write these stories, which I thought was so cool. Like that's awesome. Like you actually put yourself like
you do some real actual research.
You know, like so he like everything you watch in a Guy Ritchie movie, it's like something he learned from a mobster that he's putting into a film.
Right.
So like if a mobster watches, the mobster will be like, yeah, we do that. Yeah, that's like a commitment to your craft. You know that Guy Ritchie used to like he started off by making music videos.
I was looking it up yesterday.
Yeah,
just the other movies that he had done. Yeah,
that's how he started. So like, it makes sense that music video scene. Were you awake for that?
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, I gotta download some British rap, bro.
Yeah.
Sounds so sick, yo. Damn.
Yeah, I was up for that one. Yeah.
They sound so hard in their raps.
I was like watching. I'm like, why are they putting up video cameras? Like,
yeah,
for what reason?
And
it's
then
like
they made like a music. What do they call that? Like a fight. I forgot what they called it.
I don't know.
Yeah, they said it was like something. It's like a big thing where they film fights and then they turn them into music videos.
Right.
Yeah, that's cool. I really like that. Yeah. So, guess anything else? Oh, if you're, I don't know who directed this movie, but there's a movie called Layer Cake. So like gangster movies have been around for like a long time, and like Martin Scorsese did The Departed. Right, and I don't know who did Layer Cake, but that's another gangster movie.
Right.
But see, the difference is like Guy Ritchie specializes in them. So like Martin Scorsese, he did do The Departed, and I love The Departed, but at the same time, like you can't watch another Martin Scorsese movie and be like, oh yeah, another gangster movie. Like it's like Guy Ritchie is the king of gangster movies, you know? Even though other people do it, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Like or Sopranos, like the TV show. Like I don't know who filmed that one. But I think there's different directors per episode, right?
Yeah.
I guess what the difference is like these like unique flavor style directors, they write and direct. So that's what really sets them apart because they put themselves into like the movie.
Right.
So are they even really directors or are they just writers? You know what I'm saying? It's like what are you really?
Well, it's more about like who you're hiring, right? As the direction that you want to take the movie in a sense. Like
Right.
Like who works best? What kind of cinematographer do you want?
That's actually fascinating because like we always hear about like the directors, but the director doesn't actually do like the filming.
Yeah.
Like physically filming.
No.
Like the director is like the conductor of the orchestra.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I guess maybe that's why we place a lot of emphasis on the directors. I don't really know.
Yeah,
because like I like the directors of photography better.
He's the conductor to the music.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, totally. I wish other. Oh, who's another? Jay and Silent Bob. That guy, Silent Bob. He writes his own and films them.
Right.
He's another one. So like, you remember Dogma? Yeah.
So, well, I know the name. I don't remember.
So like Dogma, Jay and Silent Bob, like they all have a specific style too. He's another good one. Yeah.
There's far and few between that has this kind of
like director. And
yeah,
yeah, totally. I was gonna say like they should do more of that, but then at the same time, it's like, but some directors just aren't good storytellers. They're just good directors.
Yeah.
Like you get like very specialized. You get like a real artist when they write and direct. I think.
Yeah.
Because it's like each movie's an art piece.
Yeah, but almost like all those are niches of their own.
Totally.
So it's very difficult to, like, really make a lot of money with these types of movies.
So yeah, that is the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not gonna get like a blockbuster huge hit. But you will if you're the director of like a blockbuster movie. But it's like you don't really have control over it.
Yeah. I mean that's
case in point. The Aladdin movie, right? Like he was the director, but like you can totally tell like you were completely like bound.
Yeah, all that stuff was
Even it's funny though, even in watching the promotional stuff, like the interviews for Aladdin, like you can tell that Guy Ritchie was kind of like, I just have to be here.
Was that last year?
Yeah, it was last year.
That's good. Within a year, he brought up another one. That's good.
Yeah, true. You know what's funny? When I first saw the commercial for this,
Yeah.
I didn't watch it fully because like when he put it on
Didn't you
his
say
Instagram,
thought it was an ad?
I thought it was an ad. Yeah, because he started
technically is, but
because he started his beer company. Right. So when I saw his Instagram, and then they were like, it was Charlie Hunnam and what's his name? Hugh
Matthew.
No, the other guy.
Hugh, I don't remember.
Hugh Grant.
Yeah.
So when I saw them two in that scene, and then he poured the beer or whatever, I was like, oh, this is an ad for your alcohol. So I disregarded it, and then like months later, you were like, have you seen his trailer yet? And I was like, yeah, isn't that an ad?
Oh yeah.
And then I finally watched the trailer, and I was like, oh, this looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Actually, I thought it looked a little corny at first, because I was like, I think maybe I was just salty after that Aladdin thing. So I was kind of like, oh, I don't really know if I trust you again.
Right.
But then watching this, I was like, I trust you.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, so.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I don't want to take anything away. Like, you can try different things, but sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah, totally. Again, it's like flavors.
Yeah.
Like, so if you're into this movie, if you're into this style of movie, if you watched other Guy Ritchie movies, go check this one out. It's a standard Guy Ritchie film. But if you're like, you haven't really seen those movies, or you don't really like that style, like, go in with caution, because it's definitely not like a blockbuster. Like, it's like a very niche movie.
It's a very niche style.
Yeah. So final score,
I'll stick to the same
6.5.
Yeah,
I'll give it a 9.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll boost it up a little
I mean, if you should go check out his other ones, and if you like them, you should go see this. Like
yeah, totally. I agree.
Yeah.
In terms of his other hits, like
just not
Snatch,
bad, just not for me. Yeah.
In terms of like how would I order them, I would say I like Rock and Rolla was like Snatch. I really like because of
that's the
Brad
iconic
Pitt's character. Yeah, it's iconic. Brad Pitt's character is like a legend.
Yeah.
So it's like I kind of had to like that movie by default. Damn, actually, no, I'm still gonna keep Snatch there. It was so good. It was so good. Snatch, and then
you're gonna have
King Arthur.
Oh,
I really liked King Arthur. Snatch, King Arthur, and then this one is tied with Rock and Rolla. I don't know which.
Is Lock, Stock, and Barrel his too?
Yeah, I didn't watch that though.
Oh,
I watched like 20 minutes of it. No, not 20. Sorry, I watched like 10 minutes of it, and I was like, wow, this is so old school. Like the angles he was using, I was like, oh, you're still new. Because the first Guy Ritchie movie I ever watched was Snatch, and then I tried to watch Lock, Stock, and
that was
like,
before Snatch.
That was like way before, like 5 years or something like that.
Okay.
So like he was still like that was his breakout hit though when he made Lock, Stock. Like everyone's like, oh, he's an amazing director writer. But like I had seen Snatch already, so like he was already good.
Yeah.
You know. And then like it's almost like listening to like Drake's really good right now, but it's like going back to like his like early mixtape.
Right.
So it's like it's still good. It's still like Drake, but it's like
yeah.
It's not perfect yet
because he's more progressed.
Yeah. But like when you watch like Snatch, that's when it starts getting really good.
Right.
Yeah. The characters in Snatch were just too damn good. Like Brad Pitt's character is amazing. The Pikey and like all that. Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't like. Well, no, it makes sense. But I was gonna say I'm surprised you didn't like King Arthur.
Yeah, I don't think I did.
You know that movie was in hold for like 2 years or something like that?
King Arthur?
Yeah, they filmed it, but they couldn't get a release date. He was talking about it on Joe Rogan.
Oh.
Like the release date issues are so like bad.
Yeah.
Because you have to, like you'll have a movie ready, but you're sitting on it because like you have to wait. Yeah, it can't conflict with like the Marvel movie that's coming out because then your profits will go down.
Yeah. You
know, because then you're splitting that. Blah blah. Blah, you know, that's why I'm surprised that The Gentleman came out so quickly. I was like. But I guess like we're still in the
like there's a lot of
things,
not a lot of things that come out in January.
Right. And I think January is when the other King Arthur came out too, right?
Maybe I don't know.
Or like it was early in the year. It wasn't like prime time. It wasn't the summer.
Yeah, no, yeah, it was not exactly prime time. Yeah. At least I don't think so.
Yeah. All right. So final score 9, 6.5. I'm not really good at math, so we're gonna say it's like a 7.5. Is that what that would be?
I don't know.
Probably
point something.
Yeah. So check it out if you like it, but if you don't like his style, pass.
Yeah.
All right. Any other movies coming out next week, or it'll just be like a regular?
I don't know. I haven't been keeping up.
Yeah, me either. Like when you said like I was like, oh, I want to check out a movie, and you're like, oh yeah, that.
I didn't even know Gentleman was
coming
out. I was like, oh, it's out.
Let's go check it out.
It's coming out, yeah.
But I was pretty stoked for Gentleman though. I just didn't. It crept up on me. I didn't expect it to come out so soon.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. Until next time. Take it easy.
Peace.